All right.
Fair enough.
Okay, tweet is out. And let me double check. I have 1, 2, 3 game codes I can give away.
Ooh.
So we have 3 game codes for this game, provided by Nehru, the director from No Bread Studios.
Oh.
They are not, I wouldn't say a super close friend of mine, but I have definitely chatted up with them quite a few times. I actually got one of the other members of the team, Zort, on for a stream when we were playing Blank Space, another visual novel that they did.
Nice.
Which is very good.
For the record, Ryu, if you would like a short visual novel with a lot of punch, and it's only 2 characters, I would suggest grab... You had that friend of yours that you were doing Resident Evil 2 with, right?
Yeah.
Grab them and do that game.
Yeah, Blank Spaces is an incredible game, and I was lucky to catch it when what was it? You and was it Sippy?
Yeah, I got Sippy and Chloe to stream it with me. And that's when we also got Zort from No Bread Studios to show up for one of the streams to listen in and commentate on stuff from a director's point of view.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun to watch and interact with and ask questions too.
And now the best part of that is Chloe, who is on the stream with us for that, is one of the voices now in this game here.
Let's go!
Alright, so, without further ado, we're gonna begin a new game.
By the way, I apologize if you hear crunching in the background. I'm numbing on french fries.
It is perfectly
you're
fine.
fine.
I'm gonna have to order Happy Meal in a little while, so...
Disclaimer. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, business, places, events, and incidents are either the products of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblances to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. This is the same disclaimer that most Simpsons shows need. Content.
Very exact.
I've been counting it since I was 15. Player discretion is advised.
Thanks, Igor.
Hint, there are time choices in the game. They are recommended for a more immersive experience. But if you'd prefer to play without them, you can turn them on or off from the settings menu.
You know what? I like time choices. But I also like to think. I'm thinking I might turn them off. The time choices seem interesting, though.
Nell wants brain.
It's a cold winter night. Snow started to fall a couple of hours ago, so the cityscape is littered with a layer of white fluff. It crunches under our feet as we walk down the street.
Ta-da! We're here!
I'm like listening for Chloe.
Her character wasn't listed by name, so we have to... I think she's a secret character. I look up to inspect tall buildings before us. Are there any game devs you follow regularly? Neighbor from No Bread Studios and Din Money from ALG Studios. Also Tom 2. Tom 2 is a good friend of mine too. It's past midnight, so it's to be expected that most people living here would be asleep by now. Naturally, that also explains why barely any of the windows show any hints of light coming from inside. Considering why we're here, it only adds to the creepiness of the situation. I've never been a fan of dark places. That didn't change even when I got my feline features. You'd think that being able to see so much more clearly in the dark would make darkness less scary, wouldn't you? Trouble is, I hear so many more little sounds that I couldn't make out before, too. And since I'm not sure what all of them are, the dark's every bit as creepy as it was before. Maybe even more so. Alright, I need to fill my cup because I'm reading a lot and I need water.
Oh, this is a interesting art style
So
here.
We are.
It is a very interesting art style. I was immediately drawn to it.
Like it's very Tim Burton-esque.
Yeah, definitely.
This is their third game, I think. There's Soul Set, then there's Blank Space, and now this one.
I think I saw Blank Spaces, but Soul Set?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look that up. Soul Set. Oh, I think I've seen this one in bits and pieces, but I've never actually seen the entirety of it.
I had a freak out with Neru when they were showing off some of the stuff from it. They're like, show off your character and some of their inspirations for it. And then they showed off one of my favorite characters, and then they were like, here's some of the references. And the first one was Lazard Baleth from Valkyrie Profile. And I was like, I knew it! I knew he had Lazard energy! And then we gushed for like half an hour on Twitter about Valkyrie Profile.
That's great.
Finally, a response. I
So you have
thought you were
Asahi
starting
and
to give me the
Kieran.
silent treatment again.
It's a fault of mine, and one I'm not too proud of. I tend to get lost in my own head sometimes. Well, quite often, really. Thankfully, Kieran is fairly used to it by now.
I swear, Kieran, of all the buildings in the city, you just had to choose one which seems super creepy. This has to be the sole residential building in the whole office district.
Oh.
So I'm thinking we're
no, it couldn't
Asahi.
have just been any building. This one is perfect.
It sounds like we're
And
Asahi from all this.
You mean...
Meeting the conditions and being less than 10 miles away from our homes. Or are you enjoying our walk in the snow together so much that you'd like to prowl around aimlessly for another hour? Because I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to feel the cold.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Was that your plan? So I'd need you to warm me up afterwards? You could have said something, Asahi.
I just stared at her. Not really sure what to say. There's no winning with Kieran when she gets all sly like this. Yes, we're playing Asahi, it seems. Or at the very least, we're playing Asahi at the moment. As much as I hate to admit it, it's one of those things I actually like about her.
Oh, why did I sign up for this again?
Because you love me.
Ah, yes. Thank you for reminding me of that questionable fact. Say,
That's Sesto.
feeling like someone is manipulating someone else for their advantage over here? No? Just me?
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. You know I'm happy you decided to come with me. I'll make it up to you. I promise.
I stare at her for a moment. Stare at her for a moment longer before I sigh. I really can't argue with her. Not when she's looking at me like that. I had a silent crush on this girl for the longest time. Never expected to one day find out that the attraction was mutual. The fact that we managed to actually get together still feels so unreal sometimes. If it weren't for the fact that the change affected her too, it probably would never have come to this. As much as I disliked it in the beginning, it made me feel like an outcast among my former peers after all. Our shared experience allowed me to be there for her when she needed it most. It's a memory I'm always going to cherish. Of that, I'm sure. Yes, I know it's a pretty twisted sort of memory to cherish. But how could I not remember it fondly when it brought us together? I breathed warmly on my hands, rubbed them together, and then jammed them in my pockets. It's not much, but hopefully it will keep some feeling in my fingertips. It's enough to let me focus on things here and now, at least, rather than just on how cold it is.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. You get provoked way too easily. You're doing all of this because of the bet with Sapporo, aren't you?
Oh, Sure, that's one of the reasons. But that's not the only one. I'm doing it because it's fun.
Fun? Kieran, you've seen the forums. Not a single person out there ever said it was a good idea.
Yes, all those fairy tale stories. Quite tragic, really. Come on, you're not about to tell me you honestly believe those.
So you mean that you don't?
Seriously, girl, we live in the real world. Spooky, scary skeletons don't just pop out of nowhere because someone decided to be an idiot and press some buttons in a certain way.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers
Send
down.
down your spine.
That would- you know, if I had that as a redeem, that would have been the perfect time for someone to play that. Oh, Ryu, by the way, we have new Twitch emotes.
Just a couple.
I can't believe you, of all people, are still saying that strange, unexplained things don't happen. I mean, you did look in the mirror this morning, right?
This is this, and that is that.
Hey,
So
I
don't
recognize
think
that
this'll actually
saying.
work.
But this is this and that is that?
I'm playing Library of Ruina right now that came out a few years before this game.
Mhm.
And that's one of the common catchphrases of the main character Roland in that one.
Mhm.
I wonder if they
Now
have
let
any
me why we're here
interest
again.
in the library.
Maybe. I mean, they do a lot of stuff like that.
We are here to prove a point. Namely, that Sapporo can suck it.
You know, that's a fair and motivational reason to be here.
Absolutely understandable.
Yep, totally.
I honestly can't believe I let you drag me into this.
Chill, Asahi. We suffer the cold for a while longer, nothing happens, and then Sapporo owes me $50. $50 that will treat us to a nice dinner together.
What kind of dinner are you getting for $50?
Red Lobster,
For the seafood lover.
Olive
in here.
Garden.
No,
Logan.
don't start with the Olive Garden because then we'll get Classico Italy from the kitchen. And unlimited stick. It is infinite. It is all. Please tell me I'm not the only one who remembers that stupid AI written commercial.
I forgot.
Which one?
The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're here.
Oh god.
Gluten Classico from the kitchen with extra Italy.
Holy jeez.
Gluten Classico from the kitchen with extra Italy? I'm sorry, what?
Hold on. Let me find it.
You're... Oh. Holy shit.
All right. We're switching screens here for a second. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Okay. And I'm just going to mute the game while we do this. That way we don't have to worry about that sound coming through. Okay. Are you guys ready for this?
About
Yeah.
as ready as I can be expected right now.
Oh boy.
Olive Garden commercial. Interior, Olive Garden restaurant.
A group of friends laughs at a dinner table. A waitress comes to deliver what could be considered food.
Pasta nachos for you.
We see the pasta nachos. They're warm and defeated. The menu is here.
Lasagna wings with extra Italy.
We see the lasagna wings. There's more Italy than necessary.
I shall eat Italian citizens.
Unlimited stick.
We see the unlimited stick. It's infinite. It is all.
Leave without me. I'm home.
Gluten Classico from the kitchen.
We the Gluten Classico. We believe the waitress that it is from the kitchen. We have no reason not to believe. Friend 4 says nothing. What is wrong, Friend 4? Friend 4 says nothing.
Friend 4, what is wrong, Friend 4?
Friend 4 smiles wide. Her mouth is full of secret soup. Olive Garden. When you're here, you're here. her mouth full of secret soup.
You don't want to be like
They're
this.
warm and defeated.
This is
My
disgusting.
God.
This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't.
Classico from the
But I've considered it.
We have no reason not to believe it's from the kitchen.
What
pasta
even?
nachos.
Oh my God.
I will eat Italian citizens. So yeah, every time someone mentions Olive Garden, that commercial is what pops into my head.
I need an adult.
We are adults.
Pass
No.
the infinite stick, please. Oh, I think I've been to Olive Garden actually once in my life. Friend 4, what is wrong, Friend 4?
Secret soup.
So yes, now you are all inducted into the Olive Garden AI memory lane.
I was a happier man before I was a happier individual before I saw that.
I do love like one of the things that they when they were putting out for auditions for this is they said that they'll be paying like rates per line, which is pretty standard. They're like, we will also be making sure that we are paying you per line. Some lines will be longer, like a couple of sentences, and some lines will be like this, or it's just. So they got paid the same amount, regardless of line.
Nice.
So that way it was fairly balanced. So the dialogue boxes would be, you know, some are heavier, some are incredibly light.
But it would eventually equalize itself because of how writing goes.
Exactly. So I was like, that is really awesome of them.
But I'm gonna actually have to step out for now. I gotta go prepare some cheesecakes for my other friend's birthday tomorrow. So
Ooh,
I'll be watching in the stream.
Okay.
So
Ryu?
talk to you guys later.
Adios.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are welcome to continue to hang out.
I will absolutely be continuing to hang out. No worries.
Yee.
See? I knew you'd come around.
She'll be
Probably-
coming round the mountain when she
That being
comes.
said, wish me luck and all that jazz.
I'll
I'll be
probably
right back.
order food in about an hour. Because I have to order the toy for review.
Oh, she ain't coming back.
What? I'm the one who should be getting cold feet here, not you.
Just, you remember all the rules, right? Stay safe, okay?
Asa-chan, be realistic about this. What's an elevator gonna do? Bite me?
You could always get stuck. That's a realistic possibility, if anything.
I'm sure you'll figure it out if I do.
Aw, that's cute.
Now, be sure to stay away from the building, since we'd be breaking those majestic rules otherwise.
Right.
See ya in a bit.
I stare as Kirian approaches the building entrance, presses on the intercom buttons, and moments later pushes the door open. How does she convince people to trust her so quickly? To let her into the building like that? She's gone from my sight before I know it. A faint click, the door closes behind her. There's a feeling of unease pooling in my stomach. All of this being a bad idea. Probably the worst we've had yet. Just screams in my head. I am so going to give Sapporo a piece of my own mind once this is all over. It's not like I can really do much about it now. However, if I were to go after my girlfriend saying I've suddenly changed my mind, it would undoubtedly make her angry. A girlfriend. Ah, it still makes me giddy just to think of her that way.
Aw.
But, hell, we snuck out of our houses through the window without our parents knowing, just so we could go through all this. If I had a problem with this whole crazy idea, I should have said something way earlier. It's too late now. Alright, so right now it is 13 minutes past midnight on December 10th. I wrap my fingers around my phone and pull it from my pocket. Hey, look! That's 6G. Looks more like 69. Nice.
Hey-oh!
Fuck elevators. All my homies hate elevators. Well, Violet, I'm not a fan of stairs. They're always up to something.
Oh my god, so many stairs. Why are there so many stairs? Why didn't we create an elevator? Now I'm gonna make an elevator to space in order to prove them wrong, because elevators are much sexier than stairs. Oh my god, there's still so many stairs. Why are there so many stairs?
Sounds like something Barrett would be saying.
Shut the fuck up, Cloud!
As I do so, I see the screen shows 0013. I look around. It took us around an hour to walk here, and while I dreaded us being here in the first place, I'm also not looking forward to walking all the way back, especially when it's bound to get colder as the night goes on. Perhaps we could use those $50 to get a ride home instead of a meal? Yeah, if only things worked out that way. Who puts a helicopter up 60 flights of goddamn stairs? Come on, Coach. Maybe the helicopter.
Maybe helicopter's made of chocolate. Left 4 Dead 2.
With another sigh, I turn away and start walking towards a small park located in the middle of this godforsaken district. I don't know why part of it is a playground, but there can't be many kids here in the day, can there? But it is, and there's a side as well as pair swings. I'll most likely freeze my ass off if I sit on one, though that would let me lift my feet off of the ground a bit. The cold, snowy ground. I love the background detail. I decided to sit down on the nearest one. Just like that, the uneasy feeling of having entered, what was it Kieran called it? A liminal space? She's so good with words sometimes. One of those places that feels a bit wrong. Feeling hits me. Anyways, making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Your mind usually associates playgrounds with children, laughter, movement, and life in general. That's what they're designed for, after all. So when you get to experience the total opposite of that, when you find yourself sitting in an empty, childless playground in the middle of the night, it doesn't feel right. Your mind associates it with something being off, something being wrong. Why are you here, Asahi, in a place you shouldn't be? Yo, this is already a major step up from the blank space with the whole painting backgrounds and everything.
Yeah.
They have definitely stepped up their game. Absentmindedly, my gaze wanders. Something at the other side of the street catches my attention. It's a vending machine. I didn't have a bit of change with me, and the idea of getting something hot to drink is suddenly very alluring very alluring temptation. It would undoubtedly make the waiting out in the cold less unpleasant. Please say it's a machine that serves hot drinks as well as cold ones. You know, it's some simple animations with the hand there. But, you know, it, like I said, it is still an improvement already from just mostly static. With my mind made up, I get back to my feet, checking the time more out of habit than actual curiosity again. Only minutes passed since Kieran disappeared in the building. I'm both surprised and not really. Feeling of time passing slower than normal when you obsessively wait for something, even more so when waiting is physically uncomfortable. I make my way toward the vending machine without a second thought. To my relief, its glowing buttons do indeed hold the promise of a hot drink. I decide to get... What should we get? Well... I'm more of a Coca person myself, but...
Not a bad idea.
I heard a Vtuber and I was like, that's not me. I had to double check. We'll go with Coca. Oh, chat's saying coffee with marshmallows.
Why would you put marshmallows in coffee? This ain't hot chocolate.
But what if you had hot chocolate with coffee and marshmallows?
We call that a mocha.
Indeed. And yes, Blue, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Alright, so I see coffee, I see Coca. Violet says, let's get wired, so I'm assuming that's coffee. Any other votes?
I mean, you know my vote.
Your vote is coffee?
Yeah.
Yee?
Yeah.
Alright. Posture check? Okay. Thank you. Alright, let's go with coffee then. Achievement unlocked. Sweet or bitter?
I'm in the kitchen making cheesecake, so that's why we're going to be muted.
No worries. Welcome back, Cheesecake Man.
Cheesecake!
Do you have any strawberry or raspberry cheesecake?
No, I am actually making a chocolate cheesecake, chocolate Oreo cheesecake, and a toffee Oreo cheesecake.
You know, the chocolate Oreo one sounds nice. I'm not a huge fan of cheesecake, but I do enjoy a chocolate Oreo. And I also enjoy, like, the one with, it's like the regular cheesecake with, like, the raspberry drizzle.
Yeah. I know how to make those, too.
Nothing sounds better than a hot can of coffee right now, though. Did you make enough for chat? You only had enough change for one drink. Sorry, Violet. You'll have to share. I will drink at this time of year hot chocolate from a 20-ounce Star Wars mug that also has a shot of Fireball to make a hot cinnamon chocolate. It is dangerously delicious. I'm not a huge fan of cinnamon unless it's on certain things, but I can imagine that would actually work really well.
Cinnamon!
Not only will it help me survive the cold, but it's also bound to give me an energy boost, one I could use for both the waiting and the upcoming inevitable journey all the way back home. You know, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. What was it? Kirokohi?
Coffee.
Costs a little more than I expected, and I won't have enough to get a second can, so there goes the idea of treating Kieran to a nice warming drink for the walk home. Oh well, she'll survive. It is her fault that we'll be walking back through the snow. The can feels warm and heavenly in my hands. I wrap my hands around it, enjoying a few moments of bliss as the heat warms my fingers. I carefully prise the edge of the pull tab up with a nail so I can get my finger underneath and then pull it open with a sharp hiss. I'm always really careful with how I open cans after carelessly breaking a nail once. The memory of that makes me shudder. I shiver, trying to fight down this sudden memory of Kieran tortuously dragging her nails across the blackboard in my class, a wicked smile painting her lips as she held my gaze. I wish I could somehow control these unwanted thoughts sometimes. Alas, my brain likes to torture me instead. The smell of the beverage reaches my nose, grounding me back in reality. I take a small sip and instantly happy with the taste. Being able to drink anything warm feels like a godsend right now. Satisfied, at least momentarily, I make my way back to the playground, intending to sit at the spot I took up before. I reach the swing and settle back down as I glance up again at the building Kieran slipped into minutes ago. My blood suddenly runs cold. A sense of sudden panic swarms my mind as I try to make sense of what I'm seeing. The building that's dead to the world, all pitch black, with none of its lights shining through the windows anymore. All the residents have gone to sleep in the meantime? That's close to impossible. I know it. A power outage, maybe? I quickly turn around and look at the other buildings around me. All of them seem to be the same when we arrived, with bright windows still present here and there. So surely that can't be it. If the power was cut off, it would affect the whole street, wouldn't it? Or even several streets? I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, no, I stopped. Whew. Almost spilling my drink. I hastily reach for my phone in my pocket.
What?
Hey, look. She got her drink, held it for a bit, popped it open and walked back, and time hasn't changed.
Oh, dear. Zawaldo?
I blinked and closed my eyes shut for a moment, certain that something is wrong with my eyesight. The time couldn't have just gone backwards. That's right, it was 14 when she walked over to get the drink.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's 18. And look, the lights are back on. A small sense of relief floods me as I quickly open my eyes again. Must have been a trick of the light before, or perhaps there was a glitch with my phone's display? Perhaps there's something wrong with me. Remember what made me reach for my phone in the first place? I raised my head to look at the building before me once more, only to see it in its previous state. The lights are back on as if they had never gone to begin with. The unease in my stomach stays, though. I know what I saw. I'm pretty sure I couldn't have just imagined it. It's been 5 minutes since Kieran went into the building. Is that enough to ride through a bunch of floors? Wouldn't she be mad if I called her so soon? Dwelling on it suddenly feels stupid. I open up the calls app on my phone. There's her name at the top of the history. She called me just a couple of hours ago to confirm our plans for tonight. Admittedly, her name is also there for the call before that, and the one before, and... Okay, I chat to her a lot, so one more call now can't hurt, right? I hit the redial button. I'm sorry, what? Did you hear that? I heard the customer you're trying to reach is not in service when it clicked.
Yeah, I saw that too. I heard that too.
I should have expected the call wouldn't connect if she was still inside the elevator. There probably isn't any reception in there, is there? That shouldn't be true. I've heard of people getting able to get calls in elevators before.
Indeed. You want to come pick me up?
So, what options does that leave me with? I mean, maybe old elevators have like stuff in the walls to prevent it, but so what option does that leave me with? Going in after her, waiting for another 5 minutes? I stare at the building before me intently, afraid to avert my eyes anymore. It's like I'm hopeful in my gaze. My constant observation alone will make the lights stay.
Let's all stare at the building.
I'm scared of the situation repeating itself. Sometime later, I realized that I've spent so long just holding my can and fretting about Kirin that my drink has gone from a nice hot drink to, well, undrinkable. Some SCP bullshit anomaly is acting here? I mean, it sounds about right. Some drinks are not meant to be just kind of warm, and this is one of them. At least it keeps my hands from freezing, I guess. 10 minutes pass. I feel only more cold and helpless. Why can't Kirin just come out of the building now, as if nothing happened, and laugh at me for worrying too much?
Wouldn't it be a very good start of the story if that happened, right?
True enough. I call her again for good measure. Surprisingly, the call goes through this time. I'm so... Oh no. That doesn't sound good. Hello?
Hello?
Sorry, I was grabbing water.
The call got disconnected.
Uh-oh.
We called and we heard crying and sniffling.
Oh dear.
We said hello and then the call got disconnected. I'm not prepared for what I hear. A woman laughing on the other end. That didn't sound like laughing, that sounded like almost sobbing. There's something that stirs me to the very core. Definitely not Kirin's voice. Or is it? All of a sudden,
shit. Here we go again.
All of a sudden, realization hits me. Sapporo, the bet, everything. Now this. None of it could possibly be real. All of this has to be a prank arranged by my classmates. And whether Kirin is in on it... She wouldn't do this to me, would she? The image of her wickedly smiling, amused face persistently pops up in my mind again.
All of a sudden, she would just say, "O kawaii koto."
Confusion turns into anger. Before I know it, I'm on my feet, already marching to the building, determination boiling inside of me. There's an obstacle before I can get in, though, as I obviously don't have a key to enter the... Oh no, we're fighting the wall again!
Not the wall! What is it with you and walls, Mel?
Oh, unfortunately, we have to fight Imperial Order until it's banned permanently from every side. Kind of excuse would be plausible at this sort of hour. I stab a button that I think Kim pressed and then almost immediately regret it. What if I press the wrong button? What if I press the right one? And the sound stupid when the other person asks who's there. What if... To my surprise, there's a click from the intercom, and then a buzz as I'm let in without a single word being spoken. Huh, so Kirin didn't have to sweet-talk anyone. I try not to dwell on the unexpected invitation as I shrug off my luck. As soon as the door closes behind me, it occurs to me just how dark the inside of the building is. I know it's the middle of the night, but I'm not sure whether such a complete lack of light is normal. People live here, after all. There should be some signs of life. Buildings usually have at least a few lights on the inside, don't they? It's unsettling, although it doesn't make me as nervous as it used to. I know that my vision is going to adjust to the darkness in a moment, letting me navigate the place easily. I'm able to see a lot better in the dark compared to when I was still completely human, but it doesn't work instantly. As I take the first few hesitant steps into the building, the lights flicker on with a harsh buzz. Also, I'm already starting to see a puzzle, or at the very least, I think a puzzle.
Oh dear.
Bug, horse, octopus?
Octopi!
Of course, I'm being such an idiot. There are automatic lights here. They come on when people move. Totally ordinary. It's just that I've never been in this building before. It stands to reason that it feels unusually creepy to me, right? Especially when I think about why I'm currently here. Lost and found. Is Kieran there? We need to see if our Kieran is in the lost and found box.
She's there waiting to be adopted.
All that considered, it feels like it takes longer for me to reach the end of the long hallway than it should. It's a dangerous time to let your mind wander to places nobody sane would want it to wander to.
Ooh.
At least the building inside was noticeably warmer than outdoors. It makes the whole situation slightly easier to bear. My hands and feet almost started to freeze out there. Next thing I know, I stand before the elevator door, rooted to the ground, with a sudden sensation of someone watching me. Hey yo, check out the newspaper! The Penguin Rebellion! A lone village against the feathery outrage.
Ah.
You know, I'm good. I'm gonna look behind me. I turn around, more panic exploding inside me as the automated light picks up my exact movement to cut out. My exact moment to cut out. My first instinct is to get on my phone, let it illuminate the sudden darkness of the corridor, and Beset knows what else is inhabiting its currently. There's nothing. Nothing I'm able to see anyways. It's just empty corridor. A row of closed doors along each side, seemingly the same as when I first entered. There's nobody there. I don't feel any less on edge when I turn back in the other direction, bearing my back to all that space again, pressing the elevator button as quickly as I can find it. A distant sound of machinery starting up pierces the unnerving silence, followed by a hum, which indicates that the elevator is in motion. It's clearly on a different floor, so I wait for it to descend. Taking a deep breath, I try to calm myself. Feels like an eternity drags by as I wait for the thing to arrive. The doors finally slide apart with a slight scraping sound, and the small compartment finally opens up before me, completely empty. I'm not sure whether I should be surprised or not. Part of me hoped it wouldn't come to this, while another was already expecting for things to turn out this way. At this point, I decided to do the only sensible thing I could think of doing. Get into the elevator, ascend to the highest floor, then make my way down the stairs. All in hopes of stumbling upon Kieran, possibly hiding from me on one of the floors. I don't manage to find her, however. I check every single floor as I proceed downwards, but I don't see Kieran anywhere. 1:48 a.m. calling her again is to no avail. Kiri, where are you? This isn't funny anymore. I sent her a text message, feeling distraught and tired. She usually replies to me pretty quickly, but the seconds, then minutes, tick by without any reply. I had a second message. Seriously, I'm tired and cold. I'm going home. I'm convinced that she's trying to prank me at this point. I mean, that's the logical thing to assume, right? Kieran said that she didn't believe any of this this ritual mumbo jumbo would work. She probably snuck out of the building the moment I got on the elevator. Perhaps her presence. It's her presence I felt back in the corridor before. 2:23 a.m. It's not an easy choice to make, but I eventually decide to leave and head back home by myself. Big Apple, 3 a.m. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Kieran doesn't arrive at class the next day. I get a call from her parents during one of the breaks asking me if I know anything about their daughter's whereabouts. They apparently woke up to find her missing from her room. She hasn't answered their calls either. I lie about not knowing anything.
You mean to say Kirin went missing? Are you sure this isn't just another one of her stupid pranks?
I don't know.
Well, I probably know less than you do. Last time I talked to her, it was yesterday, when we made the bet. Are you going to look for her?
Why? Are you planning to come along?
Nah, I'm too scared of ghosts.
My encounter with Sapporo comes next, and it's not an outcome I'm satisfied with. Our mutual friends claim they have no idea what happened to Kirin either. When the case gets reported to the police the next day, I actually start to believe them. Things are going way too far for a mere prank. Kirin, where the hell are you? Surely the elevator ritual couldn't have actually worked. I find myself standing once again in the lobby of that cursed building late at night. I'm honestly not eager to find out whether this whole elevator game actually works or not. The idea that it might not be just something completely made up chills me to my kitty bones. But any rational thought is an afterthought at this point. Two things have driven me to this madness. One of them being the need to find Kirin, obviously. Second is me feeling like I'm partially responsible for her disappearance. I agreed to this. It was her idea, but I joined her on it. I didn't stop this whole foolish thing. We're both so utterly ignorant. If the ritual indeed worked, Kirin could have ended up stuck somewhere. For all I know, it might be currently the only person who can actually help her. I have to do that before it's too late.
Deep breath, Society.
Things get squatchy near Right Lake. Paper's called the Nikas. With a shaky hand, I pressed the button to call the elevator. I've been trying to memorize all the rules for this stupid game for what feels like forever, but I don't really trust myself to remember it all once things get stressful. Supposedly, this whole thing can screw with your mind in ways you wouldn't expect. Hence why I came prepared and wrote the steps down, both on my phone and on a piece of paper I had in my pocket. I also brought a backpack with some essentials with me. Food, among other things. Kieran's been gone for a long time. Math speaks for itself. Not just any food either. Some of her favorite snacks. My thoughts get interrupted by the sound of doors sliding apart, revealing the small compartment before me again. Empty, just like last time. With one glance at my phone, which is now showing 9 a.m., 9 minutes past midnight, I step into the elevator. Eggs!
Exit.
Right. I'm here now, on the first floor. We're gonna save. Alone. Just like I'm supposed to be. It's quiet. Eerily so. Not even attempting this ritual would be the smartest thing to do, honestly. Of all things I've read about it online, and I've read a lot, I did as much research as I possibly could in the small time frame I had. I didn't find a single person that encouraged anyone to try it out for themselves. Whoever did, and lived to tell the tale, was terrified of the outcome. Of course, I initially assumed all of those stories were fake. Would probably still assume so if it weren't for the weird things that have been happening around the world lately. Kieran's unexplained disappearance on top of them all. Taking a deep breath, I turned to stare at the button panel before me. Before I started to do anything further, I wanted to go over the rules in my mind one last time. From beginning to end, just to make sure I'm absolutely sure I remember them all. Alright. For you, Psycho,
Yes.
chat, I'm gonna need your help because I'm gonna forget these.
Paying attention.
Elevator to another world. That's the name of the game. Only one person can play it at a time. The ritual needs to be performed in a building that's at least 10 stories high. Has to have at least one elevator in it. So far, so good. All three of these conditions need to be met, otherwise you cannot proceed. As for the instructions themselves, we are going to recall them in detail.
Yes.
Instructions for the way there. In your chosen building, get to the elevator on the first floor by yourself. Check. If anyone else gets in or gets on the elevator with you, do not proceed. It's simple enough. Already done. Then there's the order to the buttons I should press. Okay, so we're going to press the button for the 4th floor. So we're going to press
button.
4. When the elevator reaches the 4th floor, do not get out. Stay in the elevator and press the button for the 2nd floor.
4, stay, 2.
When the elevator reaches the 2nd floor, do not get out. Stay in the elevator and press the button for the 6th floor.
4, stay, 2, stay, 6.
When the elevator reaches the 6th floor, do not get out. Stay in the elevator and press the button again for the 2nd floor.
4, 2, 6, 2.
So we're staying in the elevator so far. So 4, 2, 6, 2. Okay, when it reaches 2, still not getting out of the elevator, press the button for the 10th floor.
4, 2, 6, 2, 10.
Some have reported hearing a voice calling to them during this point of the ritual. You're not supposed to reply, so do not reply to any voice. When the elevator reaches the 10th floor, do not get out. Stay in the elevator and press the 5th floor.
All right, so 4, 2, 6, 2, 10, 5.
Now here's the tricky part, oh boy. Some people reported that a woman may enter the elevator on this floor. She may appear as a stranger who wishes to engage with you. However, she may also appear as someone you know. It is important not to acknowledge her in any way. So, on the 5th floor, if someone gets in, do not acknowledge them.
Okay.
No talking, no looking. If the elevator is reflective, you're supposed to stare at the floor or the buttons only. Thankfully, there are no mirrors in this one. Press the button for the 1st floor. So
Okay. 4262 1051.
Yeah. Now, 2 things can happen. It's important to pay attention. If the elevator starts to ascend to the 10th floor instead of the 1st, it means the ritual has worked.
Okay.
If the elevator starts descending to the 1st floor like instructed by the button pressing, it means that something has been done wrong and the ritual has failed. In this case, you should get out of the elevator on that floor immediately. If the woman is there, you should remember not to acknowledge her.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready when you are.
Alright, if you reach the 10th floor, you can choose to leave or stay on the elevator. So I report that if you attempt to leave, the woman may try to engage with you one last time. She might raise her voice, shriek at you, or ask you a simple question. Keep your wits about you and do not engage with her even out of fear. Okay, so we'll probably try to get off the 10th floor then when we get back up there. So then don't engage. There's only one way to know whether you've reached the other world for sure. You will know because you'll be the only person there. I'm not sure what to make of that last part, considering why I decided to play this game in the first place. If I'm to find Kieran, does that mean I can't reach the other world the right way? Either way, I simplified the rules and saved them on my phone in case I need a reminder.